Emergency. It is a different period in the history of India. We call it a dark period. That is from 1975, 25th and 26th midnight June. There, Indira Gandhi, the Prime Minister of India, imposed state of emergency for a period of 21 months. That is 1977 it ended. So what is a emergency? Emergency is a period where we find people are not given freedom to move here and there. Fundamental rights are suspended at this time. So Indira Gandhi imposed the state of emergency. So here during this period 75 to 77, the government of Indira Gandhi have come with certain laws, very harsh laws which violated the civil rights. Indira Gandhi wanted to go for securing her position and to keep her position safe and secure in the politics, to run her government without trouble. She have gone for imposing state of emergency. తెలుగులో అత్యవసర పరిస్థితి అంటాం. So here she have enacted several laws which violated the rights of the citizens. On the name of maintaining law and order, Indira Gandhi have imposed state of emergency. And the opposition, that means various political parties, had criticized the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi imposing state of emergency for her personal work. So here government should run according to the representatives who are elected by the people. So here the government, that means elected representatives, started moving according to the Indira Gandhi. So government is nothing but Indira Gandhi. It is an undemocratic rule where the democracy is suspended by the attitude and action activities of Indira Gandhi. So many of the opposition political parties, they have gone for criticizing Indira Gandhi for personalizing the government. Government is nothing but Indira Gandhi. Indira Gandhi means government. There is nothing about the consent of representatives. And around this time, one more judgment given by the Allahabad court. Allahabad High Court had given a judgment on the election of Indira Gandhi to the Lok Sabha in 1971. There, one case have come to the Allahabad High Court claiming that Indira Gandhi violated some election provisions, that is rules and regulations we call code of conduct. So during 1971 elections, Indira Gandhi had violated some election provisions. This is the case filed against her in the Allahabad High Court. So on this case, Allahabad High Court have given the judgment that Indira Gandhi have to unseat from Lok Sabha. That means she has to step down. She wanted to continue her rule, so she went to the Supreme Court, which is the apex court in India. We know that Supreme Court is a apex court. Supreme Court is the highest court in India. So to bring a stay, that means to stop the implementation of Allahabad High Court judgment, Indira Gandhi stepped up to the Supreme Court and she got a stay order from the Supreme Court on Allahabad High Court judgment. This happened at that time when Indira Gandhi was planning to impose imposition. We have seen that in 1973 there a war broke out Arab and Israel that increased the prices in India. Indira Gandhi also given several new policies to attract the people in 1971 elections. She promised that she will remove poverty, Garibi Hatao. So she failed. Actually, she failed in removing the poverty and also failed to fulfill the old promises given by the Congress party. The prices of the commodities increased here due to the war of Arab and Israel in 1973. So Indira Gandhi government have failed here. Moreover, her election in 1971 was declared by Allahabad High Court not right one. She had violated some election provisions. So with all these, Indira Gandhi turned to unpopular. So she wanted to safeguard her position in the power, and there the JP movement also started. Jayaprakash Narayan, who organized several opposition leaders against Indira Gandhi. So this JP movement become a problem for Indira Gandhi. As JP movement becoming more and more strong, then Indira Gandhi have gone for imposing state of emergency, because during the state of emergency there won't be right to the opposition parties. There are certain provisions to be followed during the state of emergency. One is that opposition parties will not be allowed to criticize or to go against the ruling party. So a few days later, the JP movement become very strong. Then Indira Gandhi have gone for imposing state of emergency, and she justified it that the emergency she imposed is right one for protecting the democracy. She stated that she have imposed state of emergency to preserve law and order, to save democracy, and to protect social and economic transformation of the nation for its unity and integrity. She felt that unity and integrity of the nation is in trouble by the opposition parties. Moreover, she had shown Pakistan is trying to interfere into the internal matter of India. So by showing that Pakistan there, Indira Gandhi imposed state of emergency in India. Understand? And whenever the press and other leaders criticized it, she justified her activity, that is, her action of imposing state of emergency is the right one. Such a justification explanation made by the Indira Gandhi. Understand? So what happened in the state of emergency? Why do we call it a dark period in India? Understand? There it is a undemocratic rule by Indira Gandhi at that time. The government of Indira Gandhi began a series of repressive measures, that means suppressing the people who were going against her and Congress party rule. And she claimed that it was essential, what suppressing the people, suppressing the opposition parties to bring order in the country. Law and order disturbed by critics and the JP movement. So she wanted to make them calm, and she announced that it become a problem for maintaining law and order and for socio-economic transformation. So she claimed that her activity, her action of imposing state of emergency and enacting several laws which are included with repressive measures is a right one for bringing law and order in the country. During this period, several fundamental rights were suspended. Fundamental rights are given by the constitution, those are suspended during the state of emergency. Whoever gone against Indira Gandhi, on whom the government have got a doubt of suspicion, they were arrested. That what we call arbitrary arrest, arbitrary arrest and arbitrary detention without proper evidence. Indira Gandhi arrested many of the opponents, political party leaders, kept in the jail and tortured them in the jail. She violated civil liberties, that is, citizen rights. People welcomed control over prices, over price rise, and the campaign against black marketing and bonded labor. Many programs undertaken by the emergency government. Indira Gandhi, during this period, she controlled the prices and also gone for against black marketing, bonded labor. Some of the programs she carried under a state of emergency was demolition of slums, poverty. In 1971 elections, Indira Gandhi promised that she will remove the poverty. But what she had done, instead of removing poverty, she had taken a step removing the poor people. She have given a slogan in 1971 elections, that is Garibi Hatao. But she have gone for a Garib Hatao. Her son Sanjay Gandhi was the main person who had gone for taking an action in the slum areas, that is removing the slum areas. Nearby Delhi, there are some slum areas where poor people are living, and the life of the poor people in that slum area shows Indira Gandhi failed in removing the poverty. So to get success, she had violated the civil rights and suppressed the water slum areas. Small huts of the poor people who were living in slum areas were demolished. They were removed by the force. And to control the population, she have gone for a forced sterilization. Forced sterilization. What do you mean by forced sterilization? It is the family planning by force. Certain unmarried people also brought under the family planning. There, Indira Gandhi government have kept a condition on doctors. A target is given to doctors to go for family planning operations. Look at here, figure 17.6. What do you observe here? There, many of the families were forced to go for family planning for controlling the population growth. Right? Some of the men who not married yet also taken into the family planning what to call at counters, at family planning counters. So this is the situation we see. Many have urged that they have not married, then also they were taken under family planning. Understand? So here we see that she have violated the civil rights. Every citizen is given freedom to enjoy freedom in India. That is what you call everyone is given that the freedom to lead his life. But here Indira Gandhi have violated that freedom by going forced sterilization. Okay, and here we see that she have earned a bad name with this family planning. Family planning operations were carried in every part of India by the force. So forced sterilization is an activity, an action against the freedom of the people. So the forced sterilization carried by Indira Gandhi on the name of population control, it become very unpopular. Many of the people have not interested here, but they were forced by the government. So here there was no freedom for the citizens. There was absence of civic freedom. People did not find any method to express their problems because it was an emergency period. Even media also not given permission to write what is happening in the nation. So there was a censorship on media. Media was prohibited. Media was under the control of government. Civil rights are violated, and poor people were thrown out of the slum areas to show that there is no poverty. Indira Gandhi has succeeded. Okay, and one is forced sterilization. She have gone for keeping opposition party leaders in the jail, that is arbitrary arrest. Many of the opposition leaders were sentenced to jail. There was detention of leaders in the jail. Many of the leaders, opposition party leaders, were taken to the custody they were given torture in the jail, such a what to call undemocratic activities she have taken up, and she became very unpopular. And many important thing is that 42nd constitutional amendment, that the major highlight in this period, that is 1975 to 77, which is the emergency period, there she have gone for amending the constitution in 1976. That amendment is called 42nd constitutional amendment. This 42nd amendment, constitutional amendment, have brought a series of changes to the constitution. The 42nd constitutional amendment included what you call excluding the court from election disputes. Election disputes should be solved with the election commission. So courts are interfering too much in the election disputes. As per Indira Gandhi wanted that Allahabad court judgment should become null, because Allahabad court has given a judgment that the winning of Indira Gandhi in 1971 elections is wrong. So court have given the judgment. So she wanted to make an amendment that court does not have a right to interfere into the election disputes, because to safeguard her position. That is amendment she made. Okay. And another amendment she made in the 42nd amendment, that strengthening the central government in comparison to the state government. This is the second second change he made in the 42nd amendment. In comparing with the state government, central government was given more powers. Okay, that is a what to call another change she brought in the 42nd amendment. Third is providing maximum protection from judicial challenges. Whatever policies she is implementing, that policies are challenged in the Supreme Court. As those policies are not according to the constitution, those are rejected by the Supreme Court, because those are violating the constitution. So she wanted that court should not interfere in the socio-economic transformation where the legislations are passed in the parliament to fulfill socio-economic goal. So another change he brought, that judicial challenges. That means that the court is not given right to challenge the legislations passed by Indira Gandhi government for achieving socio-economic goal. And another change that she made, judicial system what to call subordinate to the parliament. Constitution have created court, that means judicial system is independent and integrated one. There is no dependency of a judicial system, neither legislature nor executive. But here Indira Gandhi wanted that to bring judicial system under parliament. That means to make judicial system subordinate to the parliament. When it becomes subordinate to the parliament, what would happen? Then the judges have to go for giving judgment according to the parliament. Judges will listen according to the government. So there won't be proper judgment. See how many what to call changes she brought under 42nd constitutional amendment by violating the constitutional rights instead. And while the supposed aim of amending that the constitution, she said that for socio-economic development. Okay, she said that all these changes under 42nd constitutional amendment she brought for protecting socio-economic development from judiciary and to strengthen national unity, that she claimed. But actually what happened, this is what to call an action uh, led to led to weakening the democratic system in India. Our democratic system is going to damage by these many series of changes to the constitution, right? So we see that Indira Gandhi have turned to earning very bad name by our amendments here. Okay, so during this time only the Supreme Court have given a landmark judgment, right? That is Keshavananda Bharati case. That is what you call our nation lies runs upon some basic principles of the constitution. Those cannot be amended at any cost, right? Such a what you call landmark judgment given by the Supreme Court, which is known famously Keshavananda Bharati case instead. So what we have seen here first 30 years from 1947 to 1970, okay, 77. It is what you call the period began 30 years and ended with a state of emergency. State of emergency ended by 1977. Okay, so if you take out the report of this 30 years of period, we would find many credits, many what to call good things happen than the what to call the disadvantages. That means losses. Instead, the most important achievement in this first 30 years period was that we have succeeded in establishing a stable democracy. Our democracy has not slipped. We have not slipped from the democracy into dictatorship. Still, democracy is going on, and we have come from single party dominance to multi party system. Congress has ruled for 30 years with a 70% of majority, right? Later, it turned to multi party system. Today, we have many multi parties. So, India turned to multi party system, which shows and indicates that is the strengthening of the what democracy. In multi party system, we find that several parties representing the diversified interest. That means different political parties will come with different goals, and that is a real achievement we have got in the 30 years of period. Okay, India is a nation which got independence at 1947. Comparing with the independence of other countries, there in India only we find regular, free and fair elections are going on. Okay, and whenever the elections are conducted, the winning parties are forming the government. So there is a change of government. Congress has ruled. Then after we have seen UPA, then NDA. Now NDA government is there. That is a BJP leading, right? So governments are changing, right? The party which is in power did not stick to the power. It had accepted its defeat and transformed the power to the winning parties in the elections. That is the what success of the what democracy. So the Indian constitution have not only guaranteed the civil rights to the citizens but also worked what to call protecting those rights instead. So here we see India also set up one institutional framework in India, that is creating independent judiciary, autonomy of election commission, and control and controller and auditor general who studies and observes the expenditure made by government. That is called CAG, controller and auditor general. Okay, so all these are the what important institutions in the democratic process instead. And here we see there is establishment of a civilian control over armed forces. That is another achievement. In comparing with the what Pakistan, in Pakistan it has turned to what Islamic State. There what to call army rule was set up, but here army is controlled by the citizen. So civilian control is given on armed forces. So India stands far advanced in the institutions of democracy instead. So India has been extremely successful in holding together, maintaining unity and integrity. There was not at all disintegration of India when what to call states created based on languages. So India was seen as pit case for breaking up given its extreme diversities. Everybody thought that there are different diversities in India, so that democracy will break up in India. But what happened? Democracy becomes strong. Understand? So this is the what credit we have achieved in the first 30 years of a period. Understand? And coming to in terms of economic goals, there the planning commission was set up.